Alright guys, Colin here. Today I want to talk about my 7 top tips for live guitarists. These tips should hopefully make you greater prepared for playing live, and they should hopefully also provide both you and your fans with a better experience. Tip number 1. Get a fan. A floor fan. When you're on stage, it can be very, very warm. You've usually got stage lighting right in your face, and that creates a lot of heat. You're also really rocking out, so you're giving all your energy. You're sweaty, you're warm, and that can sometimes hinder your performance. So generating a bit of a breeze with a fan like this allows you to stay cool on stage, plus having your hair waving in the wind like you're in some sort of a shampoo advert always looks fantastic. Stay cool, get a fan. Tip number 2, go wireless. Wireless kits are not just for huge bands and massive arena tours, you can use them in small venues too. Why is this such an advantage? Well, this allows you to move about the stage a bit more. You can swap sides of the stage with your other guitarist or bassist or whoever you're sharing the stage with. That'll give your audience something different to look at. Standing in the one place all the time can be a bit boring, so when you can move about, it looks great. It also means you can take the show to the crowd, quite literally. Hopping off stage, joining in with the mosh pit, or simply doing a solo in the middle of the crowd looks damn cool, and the crowd will appreciate it. Be remembered, get moving, use wireless. Tip number 3, always have spare cables. You may think, I only need 2 cables for my setup, I'll only take 2. But then what happens if one of them stops working? Or if your bassist says, oh, I forgot mine. These things always happen, you're constantly handing out cables or having to replace them. Make sure you have more cables than you need to have. You'll always find yourself handing them out or having to swap them, and especially if you're using a wireless like in tip number 2, have a spare cable should anything go wrong with it. Have them spare and have them handy. Tip number 4, get strap locks. Strap locks aren't a particularly expensive or invasive addition to a guitar, and they will prevent your strap ever accidentally slipping off in the middle of a set. I've been there and I've seen it happen. It's a very embarrassing thing when you're playing live and suddenly your strap slips off, your guitar falls to the floor, you've got to try and catch it and then put the strap back on, all the while trying not to look like a complete idiot. I've been using these Dunlop strap locks for a while now, and I've never had any issue with them. They never come loose, the straps never come off, and I'm fully aware that my guitar will stay where I want it to. With strap locks, you've got no worries. Tip number 5, set your amp for the space that you're in. The best clue for this is look at where the ceiling is. If you're in a small pub and the ceiling is fairly low, you want to keep the volume of your amp down and probably reduce the bass. Small enclosed spaces are naturally going to sound loud and boomy, so keep your volume down. The sound engineer will thank you for it, and you'll also be heard more clearly. It won't just be a wash of boomy sound. If you're playing in a larger venue, the ceilings are higher, then you've got a bit more room to boost your volume and you'll still have that clarity in sound. Take cues from the house sound engineer. He's the one who's setting up sounds in that place all the time, so he'll know how you should set your sound up best. But rule of thumb, set your volume to the height of the ceiling. Tip number 6, put your audience first. Don't just stand there in the one spot looking down at your guitar. It doesn't look good. From an audience perspective, they want to see you being active. You've got to give them a show. The visual aspect of your performance is just as important as the sound aspect. You could be playing the most brilliant stuff ever, but if you don't look interesting, then people will wander away. So make sure you're really giving it to your audience. Get right up in their faces, that front barrier, those people standing there, target audience, and see those people standing way at the back of the venue. Find a way to connect with them, project to them. Don't just tell them to come down, give them a reason to come down. Make them jealous of the people at the front. Make them want to be those people at the front. Give them a look every so often saying, you're all the way up there, but you could be down here. Respect is earned, not demanded. Don't demand of your audience, give them something that they want to respect you for. Don't be afraid to get right up to the barrier within touching distance of the fans. They won't hurt you, I promise. And tip number 7, possibly the most important one. Act like a rock star when you're on stage, but when you're off stage, act like a professional businessman. The venue owner, the promoter and the sound engineer are not going to be impressed that when you come off stage or before you go on stage, you're acting like a tosser. Sure, when you hit the stage and you're ready to play and you hit your first note, click that switch, be the rock star. Get the ego, strut about, look cool. But before the gig, when you're trying to sort out business, or after the gig, when you're trying to sort out the money, the ticket split, all that sort of thing, don't act like an arse. Be professional, have your money prepared, make sure everyone knows the score. Talk to the people as a professional. They're professionals, they're doing this for a living, they're trying to make money. So should you. Think about this as your job. Act like it is your job. People will not respect you and not have any consideration for you if you act like the rock star off stage. Myself and my band gain a lot of respect because we act professionally off stage. We're good to work with, we're good to deal with, and that gets us extra opportunities and it gets us a lot of favours. So be a nice person and don't act like a dick when you're not on stage. Hopefully these tips have given you a little bit of an insight into how to manage your live performance a little bit better, how to improve the experience for you, your fans and the people you're working with. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see any more of my content, and you can find me on the Facebooks and the Google Pluses. All that's left for me to say is keep it loud. See you later, guys.